U.S. officials are asking Israel to delay launching its ground offensive in Gaza so negotiations to release hostages can continue.
And WGN's Jenna Barnes is joining us tonight with the very latest. Jenna?
Ray and Micah, Hamas released 2 elderly Israeli women today. In Gaza, humanitarian workers on the ground warn that the shipments of supplies that are starting to arrive are not nearly enough.
It's okay, let's go. It's okay, let's go. Yes.
New video released by Hamas shows 79-year-old Nurit Cooper and 85-year-old Yocheved Lifshitz being released to the International Red Cross. An Egyptian television broadcast shows them in ambulances, taken out of Gaza through the Rafah crossing in Egypt. Their husbands remain among the more than 200 hostages still being held. Aiming to negotiate the release of more hostages, the U.S. is advising Israel to delay its planned ground offensive in Gaza, but its airstrikes are increasing. As humanitarian aid begins to trickle in, the third convoy arriving Monday.
The aid that's coming in right now is not of the scale that we need to serve the population. 34 trucks over 2 days is a drop in the ocean. We need hundreds of trucks coming into Gaza.
With food, water, and medicine, but UN representatives on the ground say Israel still isn't allowing the delivery of fuel.
We will not have an aid operation in Gaza if we don't get more fuel in over the next 3 days.
Fuel that's also needed to run hospitals. Doctors sounding the alarm for the tiniest victims of the humanitarian crisis. They estimate 130 premature babies are at grave risk because their oxygen machines and incubators need power to keep them alive.
Fuel is another thing that we're working on. We believe that humanitarian assistance flowing to the people of Gaza is critically important, and it needs to go as soon as possible and as much as possible.
The U.S. is monitoring an uptick in rocket and drone attacks carried out by Iranian-backed proxy groups at bases housing U.S. personnel in Iraq and Syria. The military now taking additional steps to prepare, with 2 carrier strike groups and more air defenses in the region.
And we're deeply concerned about the potential for any significant escalation of these attacks in the days ahead.
And the Pentagon is sending military advisors to work with the Israeli Defense Forces. The U.S. says its aim continues to be preventing this conflict from widening. Ray.
All right, Jenna Barnes, thank you. More family members are speaking out after a mother and daughter from Evanston who were kidnapped by Hamas were finally freed. 2 cousins living in Israel spoke with Good Morning America.
I started getting messages and screenshots from friends of mine. They say they're releasing a mother and daughter, an American mother and daughter. Is this your family? There's so many others. We don't know why them.
Judith and Natalie Renan were released by Hamas last week into the custody of the Red Cross. They'd been visiting Israel to celebrate Judith's mother's birthday when they were taken hostage. The Qatari government helped negotiate their release. The Renan family says getting more hostages released should be the government's top priority.
Chicago police issuing dozens of citations tonight after anti-war demonstrators blocked traffic downtown for more than an hour.
And WGN's Alyssa Donovan is live in the loop with more on that tonight. Alyssa.
Yeah, Ray and Micah, a demonstration that began here at the Federal Plaza ended at a downtown intersection where dozens of demonstrators blocked that intersection for more than an hour to traffic. This led to 71 violations being issued by Chicago police. Jewish Voice for Peace, If Not Now and Never Again Action, leading a demonstration downtown Monday in solidarity with Palestinians. The crowd of around 200 people marching from Federal Plaza to the intersection of Ida B. Wells and Clark Street, calling on elected officials for a ceasefire in Gaza and an end to U.S. support of Israel.
It's been very painful, honestly, as an American. I cannot believe that my tax dollars are going abroad to fund the murder of my own people.
Protesters blocking traffic as part of their demonstration. When police asked them to leave, they sat down and refused.
Not in our name!
After about an hour, police offered each of the protesters in the street the option to leave or receive an administrative notice of violation for impeding traffic. Some demonstrators chose to leave, while 71 others chose to receive citations, an act that meant a lot to some Palestinian Americans at the protest.
I feel very moved to see that people are willing to do whatever it takes in order to have their voices heard.
And despite the issuance of 71 violations, interactions between police and protesters was peaceful tonight, and no injuries were reported. The group that we talked to today say more demonstrations like this should be expected until there is a ceasefire in Gaza. We're live tonight in The Loop. Alyssa Donovan, WGN News.
Thanks, Alyssa.